This is...
Wait, we should establish like what we want to talk about. What are the bullet points we need to hit here?
I got it. Okay, so we tell them that the show is called Do You Want to Make a Podcast? It is a fireside chat between two best friends who are on the hunt to create the perfect podcast. They have a lot of ideas, and they can't decide what they want to talk about.
Okay.
That's pretty much it.
That's it?
That's the synopsis. Then we'll plug the social media. Do we want to do social media? Yeah. So we'll tell them to follow us at Do You Want to Pod, all spelled out. That's Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. You can also email us at doyouwanttomakeapodcast@gmail.com.
That's it.
That works for me.
Wait, I think we just did it.
We did it. That was my plan all along.
Oh, okay. Bye. Except hello, because now the show's starting.
Yes, it is.
Heading way downtown for the weekend. Just need some time to unwind with my best friend. Well, you know,
hey, buddy.
All right, so here we are.
Here we are.
Again. It's cold down here.
Ew, maybe we should turn on the fireplace.
Okay, hold on.
Establish the normal order.
We need to establish an order of things. Are we cutting a cold open? I guess this is the cold open. That was just such a short cold open.
Because it's cold down here. I just want to get to the good stuff. I want to get to the part where we turn on the fireplace.
It's right. It's now
doubly cold.
It's winter time now.
Yes.
Almost.
What do you eat to make it winter? Because you eat candy corn to make it fall. What did you eat that made it winter, Jim?
It was a honey bun.
Honey bun. That's what it was. Man,
I haven't eaten it yet. It's the end of fall, so it's starting to get cold. But if I don't,
so the honey bun is like sitting out on your counter, so the temperature is starting to like.
Correct. Right. Yeah, exactly.
Okay. It started off early this year, man. Killing me on Thanksgiving. That was brutally cold.
Yeah, I didn't spend much time outside, so I don't really know. So it's cold. This is the cold open, and we're establishing that it's cold. Winter is coming.
Yes, it is nigh. No, nigh means now.
Yeah.
It is about to be nigh. What's like the lead up to nigh? You know, in like
near.
In Ye Olde English, when winter would be near.
It was nigh. When before things were nigh, they were
near.
They were far. The end is nigh. Then before the end is nigh, the end is a distant dream.
So it's distant dream and then nigh. Those are the units of measurement.
That's it.
Great. Hey, things were weird back then. Cool. Hey, Jim Bloss.
Hey, Joe Godley.
Do you want to make a podcast?
Warm me up, baby.
Ah, there we are. Much better.
So warm now.
Fireplace is on.
So warm.
Nice and warm. Oh, the warm has a taste. Yum, yum, yum.
Yeah, yes. Everything has a taste if you...
Put it in your mouth?
If you lick it.
So deep. We get on this show.
Taste is linked to one's sense of smell.
Yes.
So...
Olfactory cells in the nose. I heard that's like the only thing from like 7th grade biology I remember.
Wow.
Olfactory.
Mm-hmm.
That's when your nose
smells.
What do you
think's happening at the olfactory?
Well, down at the old factory, they're making spoons.
Spoons?
Last
Yum.
I checked.
Yum.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Tasty spoons. They are candy spoons.
Ah, yes, candy spoons.
Mm-hmm. So the real dilemma is as you're eating your cereal, do you use a spoon as a spoon? Or do you get right to it?
Do you eat the spoon right away?
I'm an impatient boy, so I usually eat the spoon right away.
Right. Okay. So here we are in
the olfactory.
The olfactory.
The olfactory cells. It's a prison system, you see. It's a factory with cells where inmates like myself create candy spoons for the people.
Fun.
Mm-hmm. Olfactory cells.
This would make a great podcast.
Would it?
Yes.
Okay.
About those in the olfactory.
Yep, and all the things that got us here.
Right,
we're
exactly.
Criminals. Every last one of us.
Exactly, yes. I mean, have you ever seen Orange is the New Black?
Nope. Do tell.
It's very good, and it's about people in prison.
Mm-hmm. Do they make spoons as well?
They don't make spoons, though, no.
See, I'm already confused. I've spent my whole life in this olfactory cell, and all I know about prison is it's a place where spoons get made.
Well, see, every prison makes something different.
Oh.
So your prison makes spoons. Mm-hmm. The next prison will make license plates.
Oh.
The next prison next to that one makes...
Forks.
forks.
I'm just assuming that prisons exist to get people their silverware.
Yeah. Well, there's no prison that makes knives because obviously
That would be yes.
Really, forks are also semi-dangerous. That's the
Those are the people that go to jail for minor crimes.
the minimum security.
They are.
people, yeah.
They're least likely to act out.
Yeah, they get the forks.
Although, have you seen some of the mafia movies? Things happen with spoons.
Oh, so you haven't seen Orange is the New Black, but you have seen some of those mafia movies?
Absolutely. They show them all the time in the prison.
That sounds like a bad idea. Where's the warden? I need to speak to the warden. Where's the olfactory cell warden? Warden? Warden?
Yeah, what do you want?
Oh, hello.
Showing
olfactory.
Godfather 2 in like an hour.
That seems like
Oh shit, I just gave you an hour of my time. Damn it!
that seems like a bad idea, warden, to like show violent films.
Why is that? They're already here.
You should show. Well, yeah, but they can. That just because they're here doesn't mean that they're not gonna stab you with a spoon.
Yeah, well, usually they carve things out with spoons, but stabbings, I guess if they turn it around and use the other end. We show them the mafia movies as a way for them to sort of unwind, you see, because if they don't see examples of the life they had before, they might get antsy, and they might try to escape. So we show them these movies.
See, I would show them movies that make them like emotional, to show that emotion's okay. So basically, I would show like Marley and Me like every day.
Yeah, see, and then...
Have you tried that?
The last time we showed them something other than violence, we were mopping up the halls of tears for like long time.
That's good. Part of the reason these men end up in prison is because they don't show their emotions.
I'm the only staff member in the prison. So not only am I the warden,
Oh,
I'm
wow.
the maintenance man,
The
I'm the groundskeeper.
This olfactory is...
It's old school.
Yeah,
There's one person.
You need more staff.
I need to
my
keep
dude.
them. I need to keep them desensitized to the world around them, so they don't flood the corridors with tears. Because there's just not enough hours in the day for me to mop up all their tears.
Wow. Tell you what, I'm gonna put out a call for volunteers to come help volunteer at this prison
And mop up the tears.
and mop up the tears.
Volunteer tears.
Yes, but it's not the tears of the volunteers. I would just call them volunteers. VOLUTEARS.
Absolutely.
Instead of volunteers.
Yeah.
VOLUTEERS.
Yep. Spelling's important.
Well, I mean, the wordplay just doesn't work super well on an audio medium, so I just really wanted to spell it.
Oh,
it
is
out.
that what we're doing with these here microphones?
Yeah. Yes.
You're recording this.
Yes.
I'm gonna go.
All right. Well,
That's an awful...
that ends that.
Guy sounded a lot like Troph.
Yeah. You know what? I think it would benefit all of our characters if we didn't say which ones they sounded like. But maybe that's just me.
What do you mean our characters? You mean the whimsical people? that
I just mean the
find their way to the basement?
characters that we meet every week.
Well, I think
on
it's
the show.
important
They're full of character.
Right, I just want folks to know that was not Troph. So
Yeah, it was the warden of the olfactory.
Right,
Of olfactory cells.
But sometimes if people are, listening to podcasts and they're doing chores or they're doing other stuff and their mind wanders and then they just hear the voice, they're like, is that Troph? Is that Trophy
No,
Troph?
I mean, they only met Troph once.
That guy makes a lasting impression. Wouldn't you
Okay.
say?
I mean, yeah. I forgot about him until you brought him up again.
I can never let you forget. So, speaking of crime in prisons...
All right, that's a solid segue. Go on.
Let's talk about my work phone.
Yes, you've told me about this off the air, and it was
Quite the revelation.
it was something else. So I'd love for you to share with the class.
So, all right, kids. I have been given a cell phone by the company that I work for.
A work phone.
A work phone, if you will.
A work phone. A
for work.
common occurrence in this day and age.
Yes. Now, as we know, there are only so many phone numbers in existence, and when someone cancels their phone plan, the number gets recycled. And oftentimes, you'll get, if you're the receiver of a recycled phone number, you will get calls from other folks trying to reach the person who originally had that number. That is the case I am in. The day after I got my work phone, I got a text from a number I did not have I have like 2 numbers stored in this phone. And the mystery text said,
You have my number.
I have your you're one of the 2. Congratulations.
Who's the other one? Your mom?
Shut up. Hi, Mom.
You don't even have anyone from work in your work phone?
Yeah, like my 5 coworkers, you and my mom, that's more than 2. Yeah, okay. I have less than 10 phone numbers in this work phone.
Well, then why didn't you say less from 10 to start with?
Because 2 was quicker.
It's not. It's the same number of letters.
Let's not fight. The kids get uncomfortable when we fight, you know? Let's just put on a smile. We can talk about this in another room.
All right, fine. Fine.
Work it out in therapy. God, that's what
Fine.
therapy's for. Where was I? Yes. The day after I got my work phone, I received a text message, and the mystery person said, "You got weed?" ?
It's still funny.
It's still funny. And I did not and do not have any weed, so I said nothing. And I thought, oh, it's someone from the office pranking me. So I go into the office the next day, and I mentioned, all right, here's the funny person who sent this text. And the coworker who sits right next to me goes, oh, you too? What do you mean you too? She's like, yeah, when I first got my work phone, a couple people texted me for drugs. I was like, well, did it last? She's like, no, it was just like once, and then it stopped. I was like, okay, expecting it to stop. But every day, I receive texts.
Every day?
It feels like every day. I don't, okay, yeah, here's...
You got one?
Yeah, I got one right now. And most of them say what this one says. It just says, you around, ? I've since discovered that is how people start the conversation when they look for drugs. They don't want to come out and just say, do you have weed? Clearly, the first person who texted me did not get the memo,
right? And
they were with the direct approach. But these are different phone numbers all the time. Some of them have mentioned phrases and words that were new to me. My favorite is, yo, freak bull, need some gas. Apparently I'm freak bull, but I like to refer to this texter as freak bull.
Freak, RFEAKBULL.
Yeah, I even asked my little brother who's 17 if the kids these days use the phrase freak bull. They don't. So this is unique to this situation, freak bull. The other one mentioned, yo, I got 10s, squirm, bananas, call me ASAP. Each pause indicated a new text there. So the big talk around the office is, what is squirm? What the hell is squirm?
Did you look it up on Urban Dictionary?
I did not, because I wanted the air of mystery to remain. But listeners, if you want to spoil it for me, feel free to let us know what squirm is. I don't have it, just to reiterate. I have none of these things. And then they started sending pictures of their drug paraphernalia, and it just got out of hand. But in the event that my social life takes a turn and I lose all my friends, I have a whole library of text messages
set of friends
to respond to. So as I mentioned before, I would like to play a little game where I text back to one of these numbers and see if we get a response or a phone call, and we'll continue that during the show. I definitely want to speak to Freak Bull. Well, I guess according to him, I would be Freak Bull, but oh, I forgot. There was one text I did respond to because they said, this bread, ? And I said, nah, this butter. And I was very proud of myself. So with Freak Bull, he said, I need some gas.
Why didn't you say, like, nah, this bagel?
I thought about that other one,
type of bread.
being like, yo, my scone, what's up?
My scone.
How you doing, my croissant? So this one said, yo, Freak Bull, need some gas. I'm going to say, out of gas, just solar. Go green.
Maybe you could hit a station. A gas station.
Go, just out of gas, just solar. Go green, bruh. And sent. So we'll see if
you get a reply.
I get a reply. But yeah, that's crazy.
It
work
is
phone
crazy.
saga continues.
It is crazy. Yeah, it's just crazy.
Yep. Crazy times in which we live.
I would just like to reiterate, don't do drugs, kids.
Yes.
Especially don't solicit drugs through text messages. Like, come on.
Yeah, and also I don't have these drugs. I do not deal them.
Yeah. Like, if you're gonna like,
I just feel rude not
no, if I say anything more, it'll sound like I know how to make a drug deal.
Right.
And I don't.
Okay.
I genuinely don't.
And I just feel weird ghosting people and
Very
not responding
square.
to things. So I'm gonna one by one start responding.
Straight edge till I die.
Don't worry, I'm not gonna cut all that, but
Straight edge till I die.
I should just like piece it together so Jim is like, I have drug. But very obvious.
Oh, that would be fun. That would be funny.
Should we look at our list?
So yeah, why don't we actually think about a podcast to make?
Yeah. So
I mean, we already have the olfactory podcast,
Yeah.
which I mean, I think I think there's some meat on that bone.
I think there is. For new listeners, Jim and I write down ideas to podcast about. We give them to each other, and then we talk about them. So we're going to flip those list of ideas over right now. Okay, so we are on Jim, on this list.
Yes.
Is breathing sounds. I feel like that's already half of the podcast we make is sounds of Jim breathing.
Yes, that's why I wrote it down.
So we've already done that one. This is the first time we've already brought up an idea that's in the books and ongoing, so that's good. We're making progress.
Well, I mean, but let's get like breathing sounds of the world.
Okay. So kind of like we are all one. We all have the same breath theme.
Yeah, well, I mean, we can talk about how everything breathes.
Oh, like trees.
Not just the human beings, but I mean, human beings breathe differently as well, depending upon the experience that they're going through.
Yeah.
And depending upon, how many cigarettes they've smoked and
how much squirming they've done.
We don't know what squirm is, so maybe.
I'm sure it affects the breath in some way.
But then we can also talk about, like, how do horses breathe? How do elephants breathe? How do fish breathe?
Yeah, with gills.
With gills.
Underwater.
With gills.
Did I get it right?
Spoilers.
Yeah, I did it.
But how does that process look like? How does that process sound like?
All right, I got to find a deep sea microphone.
Yes.
And learn to snorkel.
Yes.
And get snorkeling gear.
Yes.
But yeah, we can figure that out. But what's going to make people listen to our podcast other than just watching like Planet Earth?
Because we'll be sponsored by Planet Earth.
Okay.
This is a Nat Geo podcast.
Nice.
Yes.
Okay.
Nat Geo podcast. So Nat Geo, obviously hit us up. Big fans. Love that gold border. Really very aesthetically pleasing.
Yeah.
Very iconic look.
We've been with Nat Geo since the magazine was all there was.
Yes. Now they have a channel.
Crazy. I'm
At
sure
least.
They have like social media accounts. And
probably have other stuff too.
But we don't even know what they are because to us it's just the magazine.
It's just the magazine.
We're just sponsored by the magazine National Geographic. This audio medium is sponsored by a visual medium.
Yes.
Just crossing all the boundaries. Groundbreaking.
Breaking.
So like...
Yeah, but I mean, like, I've heard that they're trying to get into the podcast sphere.
Yeah, okay.
I should look and see if there is an Nat Geo podcast. Let's see. Oh, my phone's at 1%. This is now a race against the clock. Dun 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 dun. National Geographic. What do they have? Oh, they have many podcasts.
Any on breathing?
Probably not. National Geographic Weekend, Masters of Photography. Wait! Stop everything. National Geographic has a podcast about photography.
Oh.
Just think about that for a second.
Okay.
We have talked all about, how we need to keep this audio medium audio. Mm-hmm. Clearly, we can still talk about visual things, which is something I've been trying to do forever. Just think about Photoshop for podcasts.
Jim, let's not fight. We need to keep on a good face for the kids.
Photoshop for podcasts is a great idea.
Uh-huh.
It's a great idea.
Yes. Up there with Sea Lion, Tree Lion if we're going to start.
Don't.
Oh, you're going to start. You're going to start Photoshop for podcasts, but I can't get into Sea Lion, Tree Lion?
You can start Sea Lion, Tree Lion, but then I'll just leave.
Well, then I'm just going to leave if you start on Photoshop for podcasts.
How dare you?
Mm-hmm.
National Geographic, you must heal this relationship.
Only your money can heal us
Only your
now.
money and us making a Breathing Sounds podcast about animals and humans and all things geographic. Have you ever thought about how weird that... I mean, no, it's not weird, because I guess it is about... Okay, hold on.
Words?
National Geographic, right?
Yes.
When you think about what is National Geographic like about, what do you think about?
I think of a globe. I think of geography.
Okay, see, I thought about animals.
Right.
And I was like, why is it called National Geographic if it's an animal thing? But it's not really an animal thing. It's a geography thing. And you know what's part of geography? Animals.
Like sea lions.
And sea lions, yes.
They
Only
breathe.
Sea lions. They breathe?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, how could they breathe?
We'll have to find out. Maybe we should ask a lion who lives in a tree. how the sea lion
Maybe
breathes.
we should go take pictures of them and then use Photoshop to make those pictures perfect. And then we can do a podcast about that.
Our
And
shitty
then we
idea
can create Photoshop for podcasts.
separate. Our shitty ideas are shitty, but if we combine them, a Photoshop for podcast about sea lions
That is Photoshopping sea lion
and
tree lions.
Oh my god! I think that's it, Jim. I think we've finally done it. The podcast
Photoshop for sea lion tree lion.
Oh man!
All right, cancel the podcast.
It only took till what? It was this episode 32? Yeah.
Something like that. 31, 32.
Oh man, those
I don't
early
know.
30s are when life you really start to get the hang of your life.
You really figure it out. All these podcasts that have been doing episodes for like 600, 700 episodes, what are they doing?
I don't know, man.
Clearly, they have not figured it out.
Oh my god. Okay, so we're photoshopping sea
lions and tree lions.
Okay, so are we going to put them in like different countries? I'm imagining like them being on like really cheesy.
We're gonna airbrush them out of recognizability. Make them look like the hottest sea lions and tree lions
god.
that have ever existed.
And then the sea lions and the tree lions are going to have such body issues if they see our Photoshop or airbrushed lion creatures.
Well, that's season 2. That's us dealing with
the fallout.
the fallout and the ramifications of our choices.
airbrushing. So much meat on this bone. I'm so glad we combined those two ideas. Oh my god.
Oh man, this is it. This is it. We did it. We did it.
All right.
Well, Joseph, this has been fun. I've really enjoyed our time together trying to figure out the perfect podcast.
But now I'm having a crisis because I want to keep doing our podcast.
Our podcast will now become Photoshop for sea lions.
Tree lions.
Well, wait, hold on. We just said this has to be a National Geographic podcast.
Right. So we got to wait for them to sponsor.
We got to wait for them to hit us up.
Good call.
Oh,
we
that's
can't do
right.
that without
Okay.
copious amounts of money.
Right. Oh my gosh. Because we got to go all around the world and find all the sea lions and
And the tree lions. And it's going to take sponsors.
It's going to take some serious sponsors.
Yeah.
Brought to us by National
By
Geographic.
Nat Geo.
Just say the whole thing. Show them some respect.
National Geographic.
Yes, exactly.
National Geographic.
No, stop. Stop. I said show them some respect. That's not respect.
Oh, man. While we wait for Nat Geo, let's talk about...
While we wait for National Geographic.
National Geographic. Let's...
Stop it!
Let's talk about the Fall of Gnome.
The Fall of Gnome?
The Fall of Gnome. So when Rome was falling, the garden gnomes were also in a crisis. So this Fall of Gnome happened in tandem with the fall of Rome.
Okay.
This is a story about garden gnomes. And as Rome was falling, all the debris... Dear God. I just said debris. All the debris was raining down from the sky and crushing these gnomes.
Uh-huh.
And those that survived the fall of Gnome. And this is their story.
Okay. So this is a story about gnomes
Yes.
during the fall of Rome. So ancient gnomes.
Correct. Ancient gnomes.
Not,
Ancient gnome culture.
okay. Not today gnomes.
Just imagine garden today gnomes with togas,
Okay.
and those are ancient gnomes.
Now, do they still have the pointy hats?
Absolutely.
Oh, I don't know.
They're born with those hats. Those aren't I mean, we think
don't
they're
know.
hats, but those are really just how their heads are shaped.
Oh, I see. Interesting.
These gnomes are cousins of the fluffy Christmas variety where the hat comes down, or their head, comes down past their eyes, so you can't see their eyes. So the jury's still out. It's just like, the gnomes that have like nose and then hat. That's what led to their fall, was that they couldn't see where
They
they were
couldn't
going.
see?
Yeah.
Okay. Or they could only see straight down.
Right.
Basically.
They could just see like their toes.
Right.
And that was the whole, side faction of gnomes' foot cleanliness was the only way that courtship was possible, because you couldn't see your beloved's face. You could only see their phalanges. So
Right. Their tarsals and their metatarsals, or those hands.
tarsals and carpals alternate, one's foot and one's hand, but the last bone is phalange.
Yeah, I know.
For both feet and
Yes.
hand, which is why I said phalange, because I didn't want to get into this discussion, but here we are.
Now, carpals are hands.
Hands.
Because of carpal tunnel.
Yep.
So it's tarsals are connected to toes.
We got there without even having to Google it.
I'm like 98. I'm like 90.
No, I think you're right.
No, I'm not 98% confident though. I'm
confident.
I'm like 82% confident.
I feel like we're back in 1992. We just figured out something without Googling it. I'm very proud of us.
1992, that was a great year.
We've been so productive today.
We're crushing it.
We are crushing life.
Crushing it. I had to yell. Sorry.
No, it's good. It's good. Yeah, so the Fall of Gnome, dark times.
Oh, such dark times.
There's ancient Gnomen texts that we could go over. Just take this one off the shelf.
Yes.
Leaf through. Be very careful with the dusty pages. Oh, yeah. Do you read ancient Gnome, Jim?
I do.
Oh, great. So.
Okay, thank you.
Can you just give me a little bit of that ancient Gnomen culture?
Okay, so this is a tale about. Excuse me. I just gotta look it over real quick.
Yeah,
for a second, right? Yeah,
that's fine.
Okay. Okay, so this is actually a story of the very beginnings of the Fall of Gnome. There was the way the story goes is there was they call it the Great Stomping.
Yep.
Because their hats weren't always like right over their eyes. They were like in the right spot.
So this is before the fall.
Right, this is before the fall. This is the beginnings.
My God.
This is the beginnings of the fall.
Jeez, it's like the Silmarillion for the Tolkien.
Right, exactly. Yes. So you picked a page pretty early in.
I just opened the book to the front.
Yeah. Okay. What do you want? So this is called the Great. So it translates roughly to the Great Stomping, which is kind of a weird title for it because they don't actually get stomped. But what happened was gnomes live underground, right?
Yes.
Obviously, and so during the fall of Rome, the ground shifted.
Right.
Right, and the whole ceiling of this gnomish society, Gnomen.
Yes, thank you.
This Gnomen society.
Sounds like, oh man. Did you hear that great stomping?
Yeah, I heard that great stomping. So the ceiling of this Gnomen society during the shifting of the fall of During the shifting of the fall of Rome, the ceiling of this Gnomen society comes down and all their hats go and get pushed down onto their heads. And that's why they couldn't see. And that's the story of the Great Stomping. The gnomes believe that it was sort of a judgment upon them because their ways had become too hedonistic. Because if you know anything about gnomes, oh baby, they love to party.
Yeah.
They love to party.
Crazy. Yeah, because like one little sip of liquor goes through their tiny gnome body in like no time at all.
No time at all.
Gnome time at all.
Gnome time. So yeah, so that's one of the Gnomen. That's a classic Gnomen story from the Fall of Gnome.
Fantastic.
Do you want any more? I really got to take some time to really translate it. I haven't translated it the whole time.
I haven't looked at the Gnomen language since like high school, so it's been I would have to like take out my notes.
No, yeah, like I didn't really translate it very much. It's a story that I'm familiar with, so once I saw what it was, I just kind of
how fortunate.
I know, right? Thank goodness you picked an early page. So I got to go through the rest and like translate it if we want to talk about this. So
yeah, that's we can do that at a later point.
Yeah, so here's a word on your thing.
I wrote it in Gnomish, sorry.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, it's so hard to read. Gnomen.
God.
Turkey Lurkey is the name of the podcast. It's about a turkey that's a little pervy.
Ooh.
A little pervy. A pervy turkey.
Amongst the turkeys or amongst humans?
A little bit of both.
Go on.
So this turkey just lurks. He's a lurky turkey, and he lurks around, and he will catch you at your most inopportune moments.
Got it.
When you're the most indisposed, you'll see that turkey lurking.
So I imagine just like the window by my bathroom, just a little turkey head, popping up. God, that would be very, very traumatizing.
Just like when you're like, oh gosh, I hope nobody saw that. You just hear.
when you run a red light, it just like runs up beside your car. If you like see $1 fall from someone's like wallet or purse and they walk away,
and you like pick it up and you're like, oh, this is mine now. You'll hear, and that person will turn around and you'll be like,
this is yours.
You dropped this.
So
exactly.
In that instance, Turkey Lurkey is lurking for good.
I guess he's not too pervy.
He's just annoying.
But I mean, he can show up at those weird moments too.
Like the intimate times.
You're on a first date with this cute guy or gal, and you're like, oh wow, this has been a really great time. And then you're dropping them off, and you want to say goodnight, and you're like, oh, should I kiss them? Should I not? And you're like ready to go in, and then you hear.
I was imagining you're at dinner on the first date.
Yeah.
And maybe you're a little gassy, and you both pretend to smell it, and you're like, oh yeah, I guess it was that other person over there, but like a lie detector.
Turkey Lurkey shows up
and goes. You're just like, and your date would know that you were lying because Turkey Lurkey is a familiar character. In our society. Yeah. So that actually is a story of a date I was on recently. And
oh yeah?
Yeah, that goddamn Turkey Lurkey just I had Qdoba earlier that day.
Oh.
And I've
so you gotta plan ahead. If you're going out to dinner with people
yeah, I know.
Or a person that you want to make a good impression on, you gotta plan ahead. You gotta plan way ahead.
You're not telling me anything I haven't told myself a million times.
I know.
I have not been getting beans in my burrito. And I've been good. And I'm like, okay, I can handle it. It's been a while.
So you put beans on it? I
put beans on it.
Well, you're a fool.
I thought I was hot shit. And then
your insides were hot shit.
And we're hot shit. Yeah.
Oh. Flew too close to the sun, Joseph.
To the burrito-shaped sun.
Yeah.
Oh, Qdoba.
Too close to the sun.
I picked my one true love over the date. I picked Qdoba over...
over the chance of finding your one true love.
Because I know, like, I mean, I'm not married, so statistically, every relationship I've been in has ended. But Qdoba has stuck around. So when faced with the choice of, do I want all the things Qdoba could offer me, or do I want to not be gassy for this date, which will go well, but more than likely end up in singlehood again, I chose Qdoba.
That's beautiful.
And I stand by that. It's just the fact that Turkey Lurkey caught me is what I'm most angry about.
Yeah. Well, you know what they say. Look out, because he's lurking.
That's a good podcast, though. We could have, not only could we follow Turkey Lurkey around, we could also have folks on who have been affected by his...
Who've been lurked.
Who've been lurked. By the Turk.
By the Turk. Turkey Lurk.
Who've been Turk-lurked.
Turk-lurk.
Turk-a-lurk.
Turkey Lurk.
I think I've said that all the ways I know how to say it.
Turk Lurk. Did we say it? Yeah, we said that one.
We definitely said that one.
We're Turk lurking.
We're lurking on this idea. Just skip right to the good part.
Yeah.
It could also be like the Turk from Scrubs, that actor. Just him. We could follow him around. We could lurk.
Could lurk after him.
After Turk.
Yeah.
Because I haven't seen him do like anything since Scrubs. He was so funny and good.
Yeah, he's very good in that show.
Really,
I feel like
good.
I've seen him in a couple things, but no, yeah,
like
he hasn't done. I can't remember. I just know that I've seen him.
So I think our podcast would
he hosted a game show for a little bit. I think he still hosts a game show on like the Game Show Network.
So
which I mean is a pretty far fall from grace, but if you got to make that money,
got to make that paper.
You got to make that money.
And while we cannot offer him any money,
not until National Geographic hits us up.
But if
Jeff, I'm mad at you. Still, I'll always be mad at you, but you know I love you.
Oh, tell me more, Jim. Tell me more how mad you are at our favorite topic.
Bernie.
Jim?
Bernie.
Jim.
You already know.
Oh, I know.
You already know.
If anyone knows about Jeff Bezos, it is I, Bernie Sanders.
You already know, Bernie.
But I want to let you vent. I want to be here to help you process.
No. I don't need to process. I've processed. I'm just at the point where Jeff, I'm not going to seek Jeff out. But if Jeff wants to come to me, I'm okay with that.
Oh, sorry to laugh at you there, Jim. It's just the idea of Jeff making an effort. I just don't see it happening.
Jeff, I believe.
Why are you talking into that microphone that's unplugged? You should be talking to the one on your shirt.
Jeff.
I believe that this relationship could be mutually beneficial for us. That's it.
That's all I'm saying, Jeff. That's all I'm going to say, Jeff.
Well, I'm sure. Don't worry. He more or less controls the internet. So once this goes up there, it'll make its way back to him.
That's true.
Okay, I'm gonna go back to Vermont now.
All right, bye, Bernie.
Joe, take me back. All right, Mr. Sanders, I love you.
Bye, Bernie.
I know.
Feel the burn.
Oh man, he quoted Han Solo as he left. I said, "I love you, Bernie." He said, "I know." God, he's so freaking cool. You don't.
No,
agree?
I'm just thinking about that line and how I think it's such an iconic line. And have I ever told you the story about friends of mine who wrote Star Wars the musical?
What?
Yes.
Why is it taking this long for you to tell me this?
I don't know, but they wrote Star Wars the musical. It's so long. All the songs are parodies of Broadway musical songs. It's very good. They got a cease and desist from LucasArts when they put it up once.
Oh my God.
But it's on YouTube. But my favorite line from it is Darth Vader has captured Han Solo. And he says to Leia, you can have 3 words to say to Han to tell him how you feel. And she says, I love you. And then Darth Vader goes, and now Han, you get 2 words to reply. And he goes, only 2? Oh. Darth Vader's like, away we go. And that's it.
That's really smart.
And it's so funny.
So like, why don't they go like the Puffs route instead of like calling it Star Wars? They make it.
They probably could. It was a college thing. And
I love that.
It's very fun. You should look it up. And everyone else should look it up too.
We should have them on and do some like songs.
Yeah, maybe.
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
Maybe with like a toy keyboard and like some MIDI keys, like really cheesy.
Bink, bink,
as we
bink,
sing.
Bink, bink, bink. I'll feel.
Is that a song about Jar Jar Binks? Where they just sing bink, bink, bink?
Bink, bink, bink.
Not sure that I want that one on the show.
No, the show, the Star Wars the musical was only the first
A New Hope.
Yeah, episodes. No, it was.
Oh, it's all of them.
It's
all the originals.
It's 4, 5, 6. Yes.
Oh wow.
They literally called them, and it was a 3-act musical.
Oh God.
Episode.
Hey, if you're gonna do it, do it.
Act 4, Act 5, Act 6.
This is right up my alley. I enjoyed this.
You would enjoy it. It was something else.
Well, I think I don't want to go past that, Jim. I think we covered a lot of ground today.
Yeah, I mean, we have the idea now.
Finally,
we have it. We got it.
We've reconciled our differences amongst your favorite podcast idea and mine.
Photoshop for Sea Lion, Tree Lion.
On
presented by
National Geographic.
National Geographic. You're getting close.
Giraffic.
I will kill you.
But not till next week.
I won't kill you. But I will rip out your tongue so that way you can't say it wrong anymore.
Then what am I going to do for the podcast?
Edit it.
I oppose this thoroughly. But thanks for listening, kids.
Just know that I'm not going to rip his tongue out. Not yet, at least.
How about this? If enough people vote for their favorite idea, follow us, and tell friends, Jim may stay his tongue-ripping hand. And if they don't, well then... Yikes.
We'll know how they feel about you, won't we, Joseph?
Love you, Mom.
Bye, Mom.
Bye.
Love you, and everybody. Mwah.
I don't need your mile long bridge. Williamsburg is too expensive. Fuck the A-train. Am I insane? No, I'm just never going back. Unless unless you force me to smoke crack or do a little smack. No, 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 I'm never going back to